Hi submarine friends, welcome back to watching me build a diesel electric submarine. Obviously this is not my electric submarine. So these videos, the next few videos, are going to be working on the truck by request from some of my viewers. So I know it's not about the submarine, but it is a huge integral part of the whole submarine process, because if you can't get it to the lake, you got nothing. You just got a big submarine sitting in your yard that's useless. So the truck is hugely important, and this specific truck is being put together specifically for launching the submarine. It's not going to be very useful for many other things. Mind you, the crane is useful no matter what. So what I'm trying to do this morning is drill these holes, and I'm having a hard time with that because I only have two 7/16 drill bits, and I drill a pilot hole, and then I can drill the 7/16 hole through no problem at all, but it doesn't hold an edge very long. And I know this is a very good drill bit because it did the other side no problem until I broke it. So when I broke the bit, I just chopped the broken part off and then re-ground it. And I think what I did is I ground too long without cooling, and I took some temper out of the bit. I'm not a real expert on bits, but I think that's what's happened. So I've got this one here. So I just ground it, I put a different profile on it, and what's happening is it's just not holding its edge. So I'm just going to try again, see what happens. And, you know, I'm the biggest bonehead. I've got tons of property here that I could be working on to do this project. And I picked the only spot that never gets sunlight all day. I deliberately put this shop with the door facing this way, so in the summer it's always nice and cool in the shop. Well, that doesn't help in the winter. So I'm here freezing my butt off, and I look over there 100 yards, and it's sunny as could be and beautiful over there. And I'm working over here. And now I can't move it because I had to cut my brake pots off. I got no way to move the truck. Oh, that's not true. No, I could move it. I could just cap off those brake lines, cage them. I've still got the brake pots on. I put them back on just so that the hoses wouldn't be out in the elements. So I could move it, I guess. But I'm just going to suffer through. Whatever. So let's try this. Let's try this hole. See if it works. Okay. Oh. Different when I sharpened it this time is I put less performance on the edge. In other words, I made it so it doesn't bite in as hard. But you see the shavings coming off. That means your drill bit is sharpened really well. And I could get a flat tire, so I'll have to be really sure to clean up here. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if it hangs in there though. What do we got here? Well, okay, it looks like it was just my sharpening job. I had too much angle on it, so it was, the cutting edge was probably too fine. I mean, that drilled terrific. So the bracket, what did I do with the bracket? Oh, here it is. So that's the overload, or that's the bracket for the springs. Now the only problem is I bought bolts that are a wee bit too long, and you have to make sure you use a bolt that doesn't have threads up at the top here. You need a smooth shank here, and it's stronger because it won't shear as easy, I guess. Okay, let's try that. I just tighten it with this to get it put together. Then I use the bigger impact to send her home. This is not fun with cold hands, let me tell you. Okay, so any 4 nuts. Here we go. It's a fun project though. I do like doing this. It'll just be nicer in a couple hours when it warms up some more. I'm just being impatient. I was actually out here an hour ago and I got cold and gave up. So it has warmed up 2 degrees since then. I have to admit I'm turning into a baby. I've worked my fair share in the cold. I gotta tell you though, I take my hat off to the guys that do this for a living. This is hard work. Like those 24.5-inch wheels, dragging them off of here. I mean, in a shop, it's all nice because you got hoists and all this stuff, but the bush mechanic guys, I tell you, those guys are tough. Probably doesn't help that I'm the age I am either. Okay. Like I said, I'll tighten this up with the big electric impact. Okay, 1 more nut. The tough one to do is actually the one in the back. There's one that I didn't do on both sides because the air pots were in the way at the time. So now that I'm replacing the air pots, they're off. And of course the pin that goes through the pitman arm, the adjustment arm, whatever you call that arm, the pin is seized solid in there. So I had to cut the rods to the brake pots to get them off. And now I'm going to take those arms off and bring them in the shop and drill out the pins. It's just a big circlip to take it off. It's no big deal. And then when I took my deck off, this pisses me off. My air dryer I thought was bad because it's making a clicking sound, click, 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 in time with the compressor. So I thought there was something wrong with it. So I went on ChatGPT and I ran through a diagnosis, all the possible things that are wrong. And it turns out I have a bad check valve in my first air tank. So the air tank that takes the air first from the compressor, so it comes off the air dryer to that tank. Well, that check valve is no good. I took it apart. I tried to fix it, but I don't want to be doing too much fixing on the brake system. I'd rather just have new parts. So I ordered a new check valve for that. But anyways, back to what's pissed me off. When I took the deck off, it's a little too heavy to swing over really far because when the crane is in the back, it doesn't have as much ability to lift out the side because there's no weight at the back of the truck. So it was getting a little dodgy and the deck damaged the filter canister. Pissed me off. So I just had to order a new air dryer. I'm not going to bother trying to find that dryer filter thing. So I just ordered a new air dryer. They're not expensive. You know, I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked at how cheap parts are for commercial trucks. Like, I can't do the back brakes in my Chevy half-ton for as cheap as on this truck. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. Like, that air dryer was $124. When you look at that thing, you're thinking, oh my God, it's gonna be $1,000. That check valve I bought was $30. And the air brake pots, and they're the maxi brakes, so it's the spring brake, the park brake, plus the air brake. It was the $250 for 2 of them. I mean, why wouldn't you just replace? I mean, if these things get a scratch on them, I'll replace them. That's cheap. You can't buy parts that cheap for a pickup. Like the brake drums for this thing are just over $100. And they're 60-pound brake drum. That's unbelievable. Okay, I did the back brakes in my pickup. I think it was $500. Just the back brakes, shoes and drums. And that was getting a deal. That wasn't from my parts store. That was like from Rock Auto or something. Okay, there we go. Look at that. I just got to tighten that up with the electric impact. Actually, I'll use the electric impact, then I'll put a strong bar on it. Make sure they're good and tight. So now what I have to do is I have to, right behind here is the air tank. So there's 3 air tanks. So I have to bolt it right here, and I don't think I can get in there to put the nuts on. So I have to loosen off the air tank. I have to go get a tool. You know what I'm really bad for? I'm bad for leaving tools laying around, so then I have to spend time looking for tools. See, I'm going to take this socket off now, and I'm going to set it on this spring, and I'm probably going to take 10 minutes to find that socket later. Okay, let's undo this air tank. Okay, I'll just use vice grips here. I don't want to drop the bolts all over the place. Because then I have to search for bolts. Okay, so now okay, that air tank's out of the way. So now I have to locate where this one goes, and I happen to know exactly where it goes. For some reason, this part of the frame is thicker. When I first got the truck, I didn't know all the rules, and it turns out that this has a double frame because it was a tandem truck. It's a very heavy spec truck. So they've developed rust in between the frame rails, and you're only allowed 12 millimeters of gap between those frame rails from the rust pushing on it. So I had to take all the cross members out and separate the frame rails. Whoa, what a job that was. So I took the outer frame rail off. The inner one goes right through to the front bumper, but this outer one stops by the engine. So I had to take that all apart, get that rust out. It was easy to get the rust out, it's just hard to take apart. So I really need to get this thing on the road to benefit from all that work I did to this thing. Anyways, I have to cut the original studs off of the other bracket, so I'm going to have to go into the other shop and do that. Okay. Okay, so this guy lines up right like so. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can leave that bolt in. That's right, okay. I did that on the other side actually. So, what do I do with the bolt? Oh, okay, here it is. Let's just put it back on. My hands are frozen. Okay. Just wanted to straighten it out. I like everything straight. Okay, so this, oh shoot, no, I had it upside down. Yeah, see, that's in the way. Oh bugger, I was looking at this hole. Okay. I'll worry about mounting that after I'm done, because it's doesn't really matter where that bracket goes. Okay, so this guy goes just like so. And I know that because this curve lines up with this. I could use that bolt hole right there. Really wouldn't matter. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cheat. So let's just... Can I do that? I mean, does it matter if it's a ½ inch that way? I don't think so. The only thing that matters, that's not a good idea. The reason I don't think it's a good idea, I think the bolt needs to be tight in the hole. So if you got 3 that are tight and 1 that's all sloppy, it's really not doing anything. So I'll have to drill a hole. That's fine. It was a good thought. So let's get the drill so we can mark. Okay. Just going to check the other side, the height. Because I know I had a problem with that bolt on the other side. It's funny, on the other side, this bolt is working out. There seems to be a difference. I'm probably just looking at it wrong. Okay, so that's where we're going to go, right there. Something's going on with my drill bit. I'm going to have to go sharpen it. Let me just try it. Okay. We'll try a smaller one. It's just moving all over the place. I think my battery's dying too. Does not like the cold these. That's pretty good, you know. I just drilled through 3/4 of an inch. That's amazing. Okay. Let's see if this guy is going to live. Gotta put it in. It's not a very big job. You know, be done by lunchtime. plug in. Okay. Whoa, that gets hard. So my edge is going on me now. Some push. Okay. Let's bolt that on. So what I do is I put a bolt in it so I can mark the other ones. Okay. Just like so. So, just want to get the angle more aligned with the angle of this so when it comes up, it's sitting kind of flat in here. There we go. Now, I just mark the other drilling spots with this. Okay. Now I'll just drill all 3 of the small holes. See if my battery lasts. These do not like cold weather, these. Anyways, that's how I do it. I'm going to end the video now because I think I'm going to run out of storage. So that's it, guys. Ciao.